But did you see where she's at? Where's
Stella?
Look at mommy's mixer.
I can't see her. Mama, see her.
You can't see her right there?
Mama, he told me to. Wow, look, this is Rainbow one.
Did she bake that for you?
Yes. Ah! He's stuck.
No, she's going for a ride. Look.
Yes. Thank you, Stella.
That is so nice of you to say thank you. You guys are gonna have to excuse the mess behind me because that's Mauricio's side. Okay. Anyways, happy Vlogmas Day. This will be 5, I believe. It's almost Lily's bedtime and I haven't filmed anything today. I had all intentions of like doing a vlog of going to my doctor's appointment because I had a doctor's appointment today, and it ended up going really badly. Nothing's wrong with baby. Nothing's seriously wrong with me either. It was more so just an experience I had with the doctor's office. Let's hold it here. So I thought I would just do a little sit down video and kind of explain the situation. So baby's fine. I have had a high pulse. So first they said that they had yesterday they were like, we have no record of your first appointment. Then today they have record of the appointment. I don't know if it was just I don't know what it was. I have no idea what it was. Confused as heck, but whatever. They found the records and they know that I had a high pulse last time. It was 120 and then today it was 121. And so she wanted me to go get an echo of my own heart. And I said that was fine. Not against that at all. My dad died from a heart attack, if you're new here, at 52 years old. So definitely not against being proactive and watching it. It's freezing in this bedroom. And so she put the referral in for that and it was fine. But before that, when the nurse came and got me from the waiting room, then she brought me back and she was just like, where have you been? Why haven't you come to any appointments? And I was like, I've been where you guys told me to go. I went to my my new prenatal appointment with you guys, and then I was told by the front staff when I went to go schedule my next appointment that I didn't need to schedule anything until after my echo. Not my echo, but baby's echo, since this is an IVF pregnancy. And they were like, that's, you know, that, well, the nurse was just like, once I told her like I was where y'all told me to be, she kind of just stopped asking questions, and I felt very judged, like it was my fault that I had not been to the doctor in like 6 weeks or something like that. And so, well, I hadn't been to them in 6 weeks. I had my anatomy scan at 19 weeks, I believe. So that had only been 3 weeks ago. And so I'm literally so cold. It's freezing in here. This was a different doctor than what I saw the first time. The first time I saw a nurse practitioner. I prefer nurse practitioners. And when I was with her last time, she said that my next appointment would be with an OB. Oh, there's too much dang sunlight. And so I was kind of confused on that as well. But then I guess nurse practitioners can't deliver babies. I didn't know that until today. And when my friend texted me that, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So after the nurse left the room, then I waited and I just sat and pondered, because I was like, I can't believe that it's my fault, I guess. But it's my fault as much as it is theirs. Like, they could have like noticed that I don't have an appointment. They could have sent me like a reminder, like the system that says like, hey, you need to schedule your next appointment or whatever. Like, I know their system does that because their system does it for everything. And so then I waited for the doctor, and she came in, and she was at first nice, and then she like was like, where have you been? We have to catch you up, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know why I'm so far behind, because at my first appointment, she said that I didn't need blood work. Like, she said that my blood work from IVF, she was happy with. So, like, I don't know why you guys are making it sound like it's my fault that I don't have blood work from you guys. Because I specifically remember her pulling up my IV records at my first appointment and seeing that I had, like, my vitamin D and iron and all that stuff checked, and it was all fine. So she told me, like, I didn't need any more blood work. And now I'm getting scolded by something that I didn't even decide. I'm just listening to what the doctor told me. And then, so once I told her, you know, I was like, when the nurse called me and asked me for blood work, I said, it's fine. Like, I'm not against blood work. I'm not scared of needles. I'm not queasy of needles. Like, you can take all the blood you need from me, test whatever you want to test. I don't really care. And then she went on to say, like, my pulse was high and she was going to refer me for an echo, which I don't have anything against that. Like, that's fine. And then she was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, well, I've had really bad heartburn. And I had it really bad with my daughter as well. And I just kind of suffered through with her, just ate Tums like it was candy. And she was like, oh, well, most of the time it's your diet. So, like, caffeine, sugar, fried foods, you know, the normal stuff that causes heartburn. And I was like, oh, well, I don't really eat like a lot of that. Like, I drink mostly water. I drink like 1 soda a day. 2 max sometimes. But, like, that's on a rare occasion where I drink 2. 1 is usually the only one I drink. And then I went on to tell her, like, I get it on an empty stomach. I get it when I drink water. I get it. I could eat whatever and I would still have heartburn. And she was like, okay, well, I can put a prescription in, but if it's your diet, it won't help. And I was like, okay. And there's nothing wrong with, like, a doctor teaching patients or, like, you know, informing them, like, why you might have heartburn. I think it's the way you said it, and the way she said it was just so, like, attack worthy. Like, I'll know if it's your diet, if the medicine doesn't work and you come and ask for more. And I was like, okay. And if it is, then you should teach me, right? Or be kind about it, or, you know, whatever. And so then, now the nurse judged me. Then she told me I needed an echo, so I was scared. I don't want to die like my dad did. That freaks me out. I have 2 kids now. One that's still relying on me for life, you know, and the other one who, though she doesn't rely on me to breathe and to function, she relies on me for, like, every other basic human need still, you know. And then, so I got scared, you know, and it was just really cold. And I asked her, like, how concerned are you? And then she was just like, well, it's like 120, so it's not that high, but it's high. And I was like, okay. And then it was just very cold. The whole office felt cold and weary. And, like, I should mention that this was like a satellite office. So the nurse I'd been talking to on the phone for the last, like, week, she works at their main hospital, or the main office in the hospital. And this was like a satellite office. You know, like, they're dispersed all over town, so it's easier for people to get to appointments and stuff like that. And this office just was cold, and I don't know. So I ended up leaving the appointment, and when I went to go schedule my next appointment, I think the reception could tell, like, the receptionist could tell that I had tears in my eyes, because I was very upset. I felt like it was all my fault. I felt like they were telling me I was being neglectful, and, you know, I guess my part was that, I guess you could say that I was, you know, that I didn't know to make another appointment with them. I was going off my last appointment that I didn't need to see them until I got the baby's echo done. And I think she could tell that I was upset. And so she started to, like, get really mellow. And then I left. I got in the car and I was bawling my eyes out. Mauricio was pissed once I told him what happened. And I told him like I was scared. You know, I don't want to die like my dad did. And I felt really judged, and I felt like a bad mom, and I felt like it was all my fault, even though I know it wasn't. And so I told him like we would just find a different doctor. And so I'm upset. We take Lily to the park like we promised her. We get home, I call my mom to let her know how the appointment went, and then as I'm talking to my mom on the phone, I'm getting a call from the hospital, and I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't know why anyone would be calling me. Like, I didn't put in a complaint. I didn't complain to anybody. I didn't, like, you know, like, why would anybody be calling me? Well, it was actually the nurse, and she wanted to know how the appointment went, and I was like, I was honest with her, and I was like, I was going to ask to talk to you tomorrow because they couldn't do my blood work there. I have to go get it done tomorrow morning. And I told her, I was like, I was going to ask if I could talk to you tomorrow. And I said it was weird that she called me, and she goes, well, I just had this, you know, I just wanted to call, see how it was, you know, since I didn't see you. And I was very honest with her. I wanted the night to like collect my thoughts fully, because I don't like to just speak without thinking first, and I wanted the night to think about it, of like how I wanted to approach it, and I wanted to make sure that I said the right things, that I didn't come off as like aggressive or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that like what I said and what I mentioned to her was truly what I wanted to say, you know? Just think before I spoke, basically. So I told her it was weird that she called, and then she said that she was very sorry, and that she didn't want me to feel like that, and no one should feel that way, and that heartburn is so normal in pregnancy. And I told her, I was like, you know, they scheduled me for an echo, and I'm not upset about that at all. That's not what I'm upset about. Like, I was like, I'm upset that the office felt cold and judgy. And I was like, it's just as much someone else's fault as it is my fault. Why there's this big gap in the timeline. And she was like, 100%. She was like, we're the medical professionals. We should have called you or scheduled your appointments appropriately, you know. And she was like, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. We can still talk in person tomorrow to talk about it. And I was like, okay. But she was very sympathetic. I actually had scheduled another appointment with that office for my glucose test in a few days or a few weeks. And she ended up canceling that because I just told her, like, the whole office felt weird. Like, the whole office felt judgy and cold and like dismissive and like passive, and it wasn't a very welcoming environment. And she just told me that she's gonna keep me with her the whole time. So unfortunately, this is not like the vlog I wanted to give. Like, I wanted to like go to the doctors and like, you know, baby's healthy, mommy's healthy, good to go. But it wasn't that. Baby's healthy. I'm healthy for the most part. I'm pretty sure that it's just pregnancy, that my pulse is high, and I'm grateful for any type of testing and early diagnosis or intervention or medication, whatever the case may be, whatever comes of this. I'm grateful that, you know, it was caught, you know. But so we're gonna work. She said she's gonna work with me to find the appropriate doctor for me, because my nurse practitioner can't deliver the baby. I didn't know that. So, which they mentioned that at my first appointment. I said that too. And they actually have midwives at this hospital, but they're kind of like separate. Like they're intertwined, but they're kind of separate. So tomorrow one of the questions is going to be if I can have a midwife. I don't know if I have to get cleared by cardio first in order to have a midwife, but I'm hoping that they'll be able to still see me even if I don't get cleared by cardio, because they still are like employed by the hospital. It's not like they're like their own midwife, you know, with their own little office or whatever. Like they're with the hospital, and they deliver in the hospital and stuff like that. So I guess we'll see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully better than today. I'm hoping that tomorrow's doctor's office and doctor's appointment redeems today, because today was really bad. I cried for like 30 minutes all the way to the park, just bawling my eyes out. And like I said, and I'll say, like, it's just as much my fault as someone else's fault. Like, I'm not saying that there's any one person to blame. Like, I'm not even saying that there's anybody to blame. It's just like, hey, we messed up. How can we fix this? With a positive mindset. Like, I'm healthy, baby's healthy. Let's do what we need to do, and we'll get you caught up, and, you know, that's it. It doesn't have to be, like, judgmental or place blame on people about stuff. So I'm very hopeful for tomorrow that it redeems today. Mauricio wanted to go inside and give that office a piece of his mind when I was bawling my eyes out. But anyways, I'm sorry that this vlog is kind of lame. You know, it's not what I intended for a vlog to be, like dreary and just like a sit down video, but it is what it is, and it didn't end up being the day that I expected it to be, because then, like, from like when I left the doctor's appointment to even now, when getting Lilia ready for bed, I'm not in the right headspace. Like, I am very thankful though that the nurse called. I think that if the nurse hadn't called, I would have dwelled a lot, but I also wanted to think about what I was going to say. So I think she got a little bit more blunt meat than I wanted her to get. But she was very nice, and I don't think she took it personally, and I think she understood my frustration, and I don't think that I was rude in any manner. Like, I don't think that I was rude. I just think that I was, like, blunt. Like, I didn't like the office. I didn't like the doctor. We weren't vibing, and that's totally fine. Like, I've fired doctors that I didn't vibe with for Lilia. It's fine. Not everybody vibes together. But I think all doctors should have bedside manner, and I know that not all doctors have that. I know there's a flaw in the system, but I just feel like it should be like standard practice. Like, that's like standard, but we all know that what we think should be a standard is not always the standard. So I'm hoping tomorrow ends up better, and I'm hoping that I end up finding a doctor that, you know, isn't judgmental but is also informative, and, you know, wants me to have the birth that I want to have as long as my health says I can have it. I really wish I could go into my old records to see if it was high with Lilia as well, but that doctor's office closed down. I'm pretty sure I could look it up through the hospital they worked through, but I don't even know how to get to that portal, so I have no idea how I would look that up. But anyways, I'm sorry that this was the vlog. It's not what I wanted, but it's a little update on baby and me and our pregnancy, and I'm almost 23 weeks, so we will get to meet this baby in probably 17-18 weeks, and ask all the same questions tomorrow, because, you know, I don't want to get induced if I don't have to, but we'll save that for my birth plan video, what I want to happen. I had a birth plan with Lilia, and I got pretty much everything except for I had an epidural, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna go help put Lilia to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully a much more brighter, funner, holiday filled vlog.